next on Conversations with Clay.
So, Jay, you mentioned your organization. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what made you get into that organization?
So again, the name of the organization is Community Impact Builders, and the organization came about just from observation during COVID. I'm here in a building in San Antonio with the only Black-owned pizzeria in the city of San Antonio. So because he's a good friend of mine during COVID, we just kind of came up here and gave him a hand. Doing whatever he could do during COVID because again he had a brick and mortar building and he was really not able to function. So we was just lending support and doing that. I was able to see that man, it was like it was tight out here, like it was tight, yeah. It was hard on people. And so initially what we started doing was we just started buying pizza. He would give us pizza at a discount, and they already had a little thing going where every day they was giving away 25 free pizzas to needy families. So what me and another business partner of mine did is we just matched the 25 pizzas and we just started giving them pizza. So I was cool with the pizza in the beginning, but then I started to think, man, this pizza, man, we got to be a little better with the nutrition, man. So we just, from there, it kind of grew into a small little local food pantry. And then we got some distribution with people, groups like Meals on Wheels and other local nonprofit groups. And we kind of grew. And from there, it kind of just developed into economic agendas in working class communities and nutrition. Where we're also located is what the government designates as a food desert, meaning that there's very little opportunity or very little alternative to the one or two grocery stores within a certain radius. And we reside in that radius. So from that, it was just kind of meeting a need. There was a service that was a need. I live here, I pay my bills here, I function in business here. So it was only relevant for me to just really get in and just kind of like just do what needed to be done, really.
Makes sense. So what I'm noticing is, although COVID, the whole pandemic situation was terrible, you know what I'm saying, and condolences and rest in peace to those that passed away and those are still battling and dealing with, because I know at least 2 people right now that have COVID, and they're actually sick. But on the flip side of it, and I hate to say it this way, but COVID was almost a blessing as well as a curse, because so many good things came out of it, out of the situation, because we had to sit at home and we had to rethink and reprogram ourselves of how we were going to live. And what I'm hearing from you is you were able, with a business partner, able to pull something out of that and create something that can be great.
Yeah, the premise of it, sure. But that was really like, because I guess when you sit out, because I was out here when they was passing out the pizza. So I actually got to see the people, meet the people. It would be times when, for instance, the event that caused me to just say, man, I'm gonna buy me some pizza. So they only had 25 free pizzas. So the one time when I was sitting here, they normally didn't run out of pizza, but for the most part, they normally would right there. And there would always be a couple people at the end that wasn't able to get a pizza. And I would just be right there and I'd make up the difference. In 3-4 pizzas, he ain't charged me that much, I'll buy him a pizza. So a young lady pulled up and she was in a blue Astro van. I'll never forget it. I was tripping because, I hadn't seen an Astro van in a real long time.
Right. But who still has an Astro van?
A situation. And if you're too young, you don't even know what an Astro van is. But but she was in the Astro van and she had a guy with her, but they had like about 7 kids. So on the pizza, I was already knowing like the one large pizza, like that ain't gonna get it. No. So I had to hit up, and so that was kind of like bro, like it's a real situation. So when I addressed that, then that's when I started to really see the games that was being played. Because once I did that and I wanted to move into like better nutrition, I started to volunteer. I was at the food bank. I volunteered with other little groups that passed out food, and then I started to get under my skin, because I started to see that Now I started to see the political aspect of how it affected my folks, because now I was volunteering and now y'all giving out commodities, but the quality of the commodity was contingent on your zip code. If you was in the wrong zip code, you'd almost get expired food, opposed to if you was in the right zip code, you'd get the really good box with all the cottage cheese and all the other stuff in it. So contingent on your zip code, it would dictate the quality of the food you get. These were government programs. So this is what, as Brother Jamal knows, this is what made me go into saying, man, I'm gonna produce my own food, because I see that if I let you give me the food, you're gonna give me what you want me to have. So there would be times where we would be going to make the bags to pass out the food, and the people that I was giving my food to in my neighborhood, the food was already expired. Like, you give me meat, it's already past its due date. I don't give these people something that I wouldn't eat. Oh, their product don't look the same. So this is why, this is what spawned okay, hey, it's bigger than just a need. Like, this, it's a game going on, and we in the middle, like, you know, like we're pawns. So I just was kind of like, well, I can't change the world, man, but I'm gonna do what I can. And so that's what kind of drove it to, we went from, like, you know, just volunteering to basically saying, look, we're gonna do our own food pantry, we're gonna raise our own food. So I went out, and so, you know, the pandemic, you made a very true statement, and it was a gift and a curse. So during the pandemic, when they was passing out all that money, so a group here received about $42–43 million to distribute food in and around San Antonio during that time. But they weren't set up or built to do that. It didn't matter. The government still gave them the money. So while we were here, what ends up happening is everybody, even Julian Castro, the local politicians, everybody was up in arms because this group that they didn't think was worthy got the money. So I told my business partner, I said, hey, bro, look, I don't care who got the money. I want action at the groceries. So we, out of the blue, we just emailed them from the nonprofit email and just told them, hey, man, we'd like to partner or help you distribute the food. We know where you can go. And man, they bid. They wrote, they replied, hey, can you help us? So when I got in there, I did understand why everybody was, the angst that everybody had about why the company got the money, because they weren't prepared for it. And they wholly failed the people that they meant to do it for, but that wasn't my business. Like, I didn't have nothing to do with that. But what I do know is, for me, for the people that matter to me, they gave me 12 tons of food.
Tons.
I didn't pay $1 for it.
Yeah.
And so for me, it met my need. Now, overall, did it serve the people that it was supposed to serve? No, but I did my part in seeing that the people that I knew got action at it. And that was the premise or the gist of how that happened. So sure, it was a gift and a curse. Like, yeah, the government gave the money to the wrong people. It didn't matter to me, because the people that I gave the stuff to, they didn't ask. But I knew that I was able to get a quality of product that would suffice for both me and them. And that's pretty much how we did it.
So what I noticed and what you said, that kind of blew me away a little bit about how certain zip codes, and that's I'm gonna use zip codes, received certain types of food, and the other zip codes got better quality food. And I thought about it because I'm like, I done been a part of a lot of food bank organizations and passing out food. And I knew what I was giving, and I was hoping the people that, you know, we were giving the food to knew what, you know what I'm saying, this food is about to expire, or if it's, you know, saying it's on the verge. And we even had Harvester show up, and we passed out food, and it was the same thing. And I was like, dang, didn't realize if I was in another zip code, I'm gonna get the fresher, the better, this ain't.
You're not gonna even get a product that would resemble the product that you had. You're gonna get a whole other product.
That's wild. That's wild. That's wild.
A whole other packaging. You're gonna get listen, I didn't even know that they gave out cottage cheese in those bags or boxes until I got in zip codes and I saw that they were getting organic commodities in their boxes.
Hold on, I ain't even getting organic. Okay.
Right.
Well,
let's why? What's the why or, and I know the answer, but I just want to put it out there. What's the difference of you're feeding people that need help? Why would you give almost expired food to a certain zip code and give this other zip code the fresh, dang near just off the farm food?
Because the zip code that's getting the inadequate quality product are not participating in the process. They taking the service without participating in the process. So because you don't participate in the process, then you don't dictate, you don't even have a suggestion as to how it goes.
No.
My wife was in a mentor program, and her mentor told her that there are only two places that you can go: on the menu or at the table.
Ooh, heavy. Okay.
So in this particular instance, we're on the menu. So we're getting, now let's be honest, who wants expired product? Now, look, I understand. If it's tight, it's tight. If it's right down the verge, hey man, we tried because, a snowball be snowball in the hot boy of summer. We understand that. But nobody wants that. Because at the end of the day, okay, I can eat it today, I may can eat it tomorrow, but I can't put it in my refrigerator. I'm not gonna eat it next week.
Right.
So because we're not participating in the process, then they handling us how they want to handle us. And that's across the board.
So it's almost like the political situation. Go ahead, Matt. I know you want to chime in.
I hear you on all of that. I was about to get to that. It's that political situation. You got to be in there. You got to be in the room when those things are being decided on. And that's what we're missing. People being there and saying, all right, when this shipment comes, how's it going to get divided? I think that's part of what he's mentioning there. We got to be there to make sure that somebody can divide in our direction.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, but the process of who gets the allotment. What about the process of who breaks it down? Because that matters. The fact that, so I think that it comes also down to this. And I've been hearing this term a lot lately, and I'm trying to figure it out because I don't really understand it. It comes down to culture.
Okay.
And so figure out what is Black culture. Because if we go and we say East Asian culture, if we go and we say Northwestern, West Indies culture, we're talking a certain set of behaviors, how we go through life with boundaries and structure and behaviors. So I was saying, well, what is, because as at the end of the day, we're American. At the end of the day, so what is? So I was trying to figure out, because what is Black culture? Because Black culture is what's got us not participating in the process. Because I was looking, when you really look at it, and Jamal, you can attest to this because you interning at the chamber. Everybody else has a functioning chamber of commerce that does a duty. If you look around this country, our chambers, now I'm not saying that there are not chambers that are not functioning and are not productive, but overall, for where we at, in all the places that we at, we're not functioning. So one, that's automatically telling you ain't no money rotating, because the Chamber of Commerce is where they cut up the money. So one, we ain't got no bag. Secondly, as Americans, and I guess because we were added to that in an amendment and not constitutionally, we don't buy into the process. And that's how we get in the trick bag. Because we were amended into the Constitution, and because consciously, cognitively, we've never really been accepted in the society.
Thank you for listening. This has been an A2I Media production.